and there is an avid, rabid, foam at the mouth LSU fan who is just itching to talk with you about Saturday's game.
Yeah.
It must have been pretty awesome, right?
Awesome is an understatement, Robert. I called it just a surreal experience. I mean, you know, we all wanted to be there at the game of the century. The outcome was just incredible. And I got to watch it with the President of the United States and the First Lady. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. I'm a double alum from LSU, undergrad and law school.
Yeah.
But the food wasn't bad either, huh?
Let me ask you this, Mike. The president left a little bit early. When the president leaves, does the whole entourage leave?
Well, you know, he travels with a huge group of Secret Service and all of that. We were in a relatively small suite, guys, and I'm proud to say that Tiger Stadium does it so much better than Alabama. I mean, the skyboxes at Tiger Stadium are just unparalleled. So this was the nicest one they had, as you can imagine, with the president in it. And I mean, I'm not, you know, it was nice, but not like LSU. But it was a small room, so there was only about probably maybe less than 20 of us there.
So you left early. Did you leave early too?
Well, no, he had to get out at least, I think he left about 12 minutes before the end of the game.
Okay.
He had to, of course, because they got to get the security detail and run him out and all that. But we all stayed till the very end. I mean, I left, I think, about a minute before the end. We knew the outcome and had to get to the car to get back. Because I had a 6-hour drive, and I was actually in a pulpit Sunday morning. I had to do a sermon, so I had to get back.
Now, the box, the suite you guys with the president were in on Saturday is a big Alabama guy, big Alabama donor and Alabama grad. The people in the box, was it evenly numbered between Alabama and eventual victor LSU?
No, this was a great story, actually, Robert, because I was there. There was 4 members of Congress in Louisiana, so Garrett Graves, Ralph Abraham, Clay Higgins, and myself. And there were 3 congressmen from Alabama, our good friends and colleagues. But everybody else in the suite are all Alabama fans, as you can imagine. So when we were jumping up, high-fiving, screaming during the game, and it was kind of awkward because our host, you know, but we couldn't help it. I mean, this is the biggest, most epic moment of LSU football in my lifetime.
Who was the president rooting for?
So obviously he has to stay neutral in the thing because he needs both states. But I'm going to tell you, Aaron, I'm convinced. I talked with him in a sidebar. I really think he bleeds purple and gold, but don't quote me on it.
Okay.
You know, you mentioned you used the term that you've used with me a couple of times, a surreal experience. Bluntly speaking, Mr. Mike, you've traveled with the president so much, you're on first name basis with the Secret Service agents, right?
Yes, you know, and I told,
Yes.
I mean, I am. I told somebody yesterday that my life has just become a string of surreal moments. I mean, you know, I'm a kid from West Shreveport, right? This doesn't make sense. I can't explain it, but we do have a great relationship with the president and the White House, and that's been very beneficial. I mean, I'm going to ride it out as long as I can, guys, because it's so good for our district. But to have that kind of access, and you know, the president asked me for my advice on things. I chair the Republican Study Committee. It's the largest caucus in Congress, 146 conservatives in the House. And so he wants to know what I think. And, you know, we've become very close. I'm so excited to bring him back Thursday night.
I was just going to say, another surreal experience just about 3 days away. Tell us about Thursday night. Tell us what you're going to do. Tell us what you anticipate.
Well, I'll be jumping on Air Force One and flying down with him because we're in session this week. And I told him in the skybox Saturday night, I said, Mr. President, I think this might be your best rally yet. I said, there's going to be tens of thousands of enthusiastic supporters. The only problem we have in Louisiana, sir, is we can't find venues large enough to accommodate all your fans and supporters and encouragers. And I said, I wish we could get you in Tiger Stadium at Baton Rouge because we'd fill it up. He said, you think we'd fill it, Mike? I said, yes, sir, we would. It's 120,000. I said, look out here, this Alabama stadium, sir. This is a nice starter stadium. It's cute. They got 100,000. We do 120,000.
During the game, Robert has this theory that the network dissed the president by only showing him once or twice. Did y'all get the feeling that the network was like, oh, we're just not going to show the president that many times?
Well, you know, obviously we weren't watching the television, so I missed the whole thing. I mean, but I can tell you in the stadium, Aaron, I mean, I walked with the president up to the rail 4 or 5 times during the game because the crowd was demanding it. They were screaming his name. And every time he would go out there, you saw a few clips of that on the internet. It was a deafening level of applause. I mean, half the stadium was turned around not watching the game. They were looking up at the box. and they just love the president, and he is grateful for that encouragement and felt right at home, and he loves the South and loves Louisiana, and I told him Thursday night will be an equal experience. So
People that are going Thursday night, Mike, what should they expect? How early should they get out there? What can they bring and all that good stuff?
Well, the thing is, I've been to I think 3 of these rallies now, and you really do need to get there early. I mean, there's more tickets distributed than there are seats in the CenturyLink Center. But what they do at these rallies is that's not unusual to fill it up, just first come first serve kind of thing. But it's just as much fun outside the facility. There are jumbotrons. I think there'll be big screens up and all that. And it's kind of like an LSU tailgate in a way. It's just a lot of fun to be part of that experience. We haven't had a sitting president here. I think I'm correct in this since 2005. Y'all remember George W. Bush came to the Centenary Gold Dome. And I think that was the last time we had a president. Prior to that, you had to go back to the early 90s for Clinton. So this is a big deal. And I've been talking with the president about coming to visit us since he got elected. We all took office in January 2017. It's finally happening, and I think he loves the area. That the stories are long about how he hosted previous Miss USA pageants here and all that. And it's very come full circle. I talked to him about this Saturday night. I said, Mr. President, your investment in the Miss USA pageants helped to put Shreveport-Bossier on the map as a big venue, which led to the development of that whole kind of cottage industry and helped us build the CenturyLink Center over the river in Bossier City, which now you come to as the president. It all comes full circle, Mr. President, and he really loves that narrative.